Thank you so much, Andy, Chi, and Abo. It is great to have a session full of Meta people. So thank you for your talks. It was really awesome. I would like to jump and take questions from the audience. And I will start with questions to Andy on his network resilience talk. So let's see, Andy, first question from Colin. Totally agree with your take on trade-offs of bandwidth, latency, and loss. What is your view on Reed-Solomon type FEC, such as RFC 5510? Was the effort or not?
Yeah, thank you, Colin, for your great question. So I will try to answer it from two aspects. So first of all, I think your question can be generalized as if we can apply the out-of-band FEC to RTC audio. So the answer is yes and no. So I think from our experience, the major limitation we found for the audio out-of-band FEC is that it's added latency. Because you need to wait for the enough packets to be able to generate the FEC packets for the audio. So such I think delay is very critical. And so that's one of the main reasons in my talk, we used audio duplication, which is you can think of as a special form of the out-of-band FEC, but without this delay to wait for future packets. And also from our experience, we see out-of-band FEC is more applicable for a video use case, because in the video use case, you can actually split a video frame into multiple packets to avoid this delay I think problem. And second of all, I want to address specifically about the RS code. I think RS code is the most theoretically efficient coding to deal with erasure errors, which is mostly happen in our RTC audio and video case. So we actually see very great potential to use RS code for video use case. So we know there are some RTC product in the market currently use I think closed source of the RS code implementation for video error recovery, and we actually look forward to RS code to make its way to the upstream of RTC. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is from Wei. What's the acceptable UPR, user perception latency in RTC?
Oh, sure. I think I sort of addressed this question partially in my talk. I think this is, first of all, there is no common standard of this, but there is some recommendation from ITU. I mentioned in my talk, the 300 millisecond is very good latency. Nobody will notice the delay, and 600 is someone will feel dissatisfaction. So I want to say there is no common standard, and this actually affected by multiple factors. For example, error recovery, packet loss. So for the same call, if you have same end-to-end latency, but you have more packet loss, maybe the user will feel much worse, user experience than a call with the same latency, but without any packet loss. So I don't want to give a definitive answer what is acceptable. It has to based on case by case, and also combines those multiple factors.
Another question for you, Andy, from Bo. Are the learnings on audio directly transferable to video?
Also, the answer here is also yes and no. Some of the technologies we use for audio, we can directly apply to those video. For example, NAC. We can use NAC for both audio and video. But some of the technologies, as I just mentioned, for example, audio duplication, we cannot directly apply to video because of the size of the source, the size of the packets. So that's why. So for those technologies, is audio only. But I also just mentioned in my previous answer to I think Colin's question. For example, something like the RS code or out-of-band FEC, we can try to use that for those video error recovery. So I think, yeah, so I think that would be my answer here.
Okay, thanks, Andy. I will move to questions to Chi on WhatsApp end-to-end encryption. So Richard is asking, how is WhatsApp protecting identity? How do I know that WhatsApp isn't impersonating me in my calls so that they can man in the middle the content?
Thanks for the question. That's a great question. So for the first question, the identity actually is generated by the app in the client side. there's a key pair. Only the public key will be sent to the server and other people. The private key is always stay in the app, in the phone or on the other device. And that's protected by the app in the client side. We never share to other people. And modern OS actually has sandbox to protect the other app from accessing that key, private key. So in the second question, as mentioned in the slide, once you build a first trust with the peer, the identity will help you to protect the man in the middle attack. The only way that WhatsApp can do the man in the middle or other people can do in the man in the middle attack is to reset up the end-to-end encryption session. That will cause an identity change. If you enable the security notification, you will notice that the identity has changed. You will find that change in the chat. So in that way, you can detect someone is doing the man in the middle attack.
Next question from Colin. He's saying, I really want end-to-end encryption for all my communication, including the metaverse, but I feel like all these solutions where users need some way to verify security code out of band seem too hard for users to use. Could we build a better identity solution for the metaverse?
This is a very great question. I like end-to-end encryption for all my communication, and I also wish we can have a better way. But to my understanding, there may not be an in-band way to protect the identity and the end-to-end encryption without out-of-band verification. In fact, we actually make the verification easier. User just need to scan the scan the security code to find out the authentication. So at the meantime, that's why we also encourage people to join us to build a private core together. Maybe we can find a better solution together.
I'm moving to Abu on some questions related to end-to-end encryption for large group calls. So Richard again is asking, the MLS key exchange protocol lets you remove participants with order n complexity in the worst case. Are you planning to move over to MLS?
So great question and point. I do believe that there are opportunities in optimizing key negotiation, and key exchange over messaging layer is one of them, which we are considering to try out in future.
And another question, how does the large number of key exchanges during the leave scenario affect the user experience?
So during leave scenarios, every participant needs to change the key, and these keys are sent to other participants in the call. And as the call grows, the number of exchange key can also grow. We need to make sure that before the users start using these keys, the other participant on the receiver side has already received the new key. Otherwise, they will have a period of time that they cannot decrypt the media. So for that, the approach could be like this. The user experience would be that they can have a gap when this leave scenario happen. And to mitigate that, we basically leave a window and keep using the old key until a certain amount of window that to make sure the keys are received by all the other participants before using the new key. And obviously also optimizing the key exchange here can help reduce this window of that basically we use the old key before using the new key.
Okay, thank you again, Andy, Abu. That was a great discussion. And we are now at the end of the day. So I want to thank all of you for joining the first RTC at Scale conference. You have been a great audience with all this engagement and great questions coming on the chat thread. You really made this day really much more fun. So let's see what we have done today. So we started the day with the keynote and the session on the future of RTC experiences. Next, we heard about leveraging deep learning to improve audio quality and compression. We had a great panel on RTC in the metaverse. We heard about AV1 for RTC. And next, the last session, we heard about the network resilience strategies and RTC architecture for end-to-end encryption. I would like to thank again all our speakers for sharing their work with the RTC community. Those are the people that really made this conference so great. All the videos of all the talks will be available offline in the AtScale Facebook page. So you will be able to find it in a few days. You will be able also to find this full conference video. So yeah, in case you miss any content, you will be able to find it there. You will be able to share it with people that miss it as well. So thank you again for joining. I hope to see you in the next RTC at Scale conference.